Have you ever wondered if you can really have a fulfilling life while embracing minimalism and being frugal? Come with me as I share how our family found joy in an ordinary and simple life without breaking the bank, and how you can too. Go. So, do you ever ask yourself questions like, how do I keep going over budget? How did I get so much stuff? Is all of this even necessary? Me too. And today I want to show you just how our family cut down on things that most consider normal, yet still live an amazing life. Plus, some great tips on how to stay in budget and how to lower your expenses. Let's get into this. First things first, what does frugal even look like? What are the different things that make you frugal versus just being cheap? Here are 4 things that our family does to be frugal. First, live within your means. 2, make room for the things that count. 3, be resourceful. And number 4, lower your base expenses. Let's dive into more detail. First, what is living within your means? I mean, seriously, everybody's means are different and we all want some sort of normalcy, right? Living within your means, simply put, is don't overextend yourself on things that you don't actually need. I mean, sure, it would be nice to have the best and newest of everything, but we really don't need it. Chances are a lot of the things that I buy and that you buy, we could find a way to make it home. We could find and repurpose something we already have, or we could even find it secondhand if we really do need to have it. Doing all of these things helps us live within our means and make sure that at the end of the month, there's actually money left for the things that you want to pursue. If you don't live within your means, you will constantly be climbing deeper and deeper and deeper into debt. And so that is one of the biggest things that you can do, is find a way to live within your budget for right now. Don't overextend yourself. Number 2, make room for the things that count. Embracing minimalism is great. Being frugal is great. But there are still things that are important to you and your family that may not be as important to me and mine. And there are things that are important to my family that may not be as important to you. So when you find that your family really enjoys something or really gets value out of something, those are the things that you want to invest your money in. And the filler stuff, just let that go. Third, being resourceful. Seriously, it is amazing to me how many times, if I really put my mind to it, I can repurpose something that I already have to do another job, or that I can find secondhand rather than buying brand new. Asking around, going to thrift stores, going to garage sales. We throw away and we overconsume so much as a culture that really, with a little bit of hard work, you can find most of what you need, not brand new. You will save so much money in doing that. Now, the final thing about frugality that I really want to talk about is lowering your base expenses. What does that even mean? So, every family has base expenses: electricity, gas, phone bills. If you can find a way to lower those costs every single month by renegotiating, by looking for a cheaper plan, by determining if all of those base expenses are actually necessary expenses or not, you can save so much money every single month without doing anything else by just taking the time to call, stop in, to renegotiate. See if you can get those prices down. A lot of times you can get a lower price than what you're paying for with something as simple as a call. It's a little awkward at first when you do it, but I promise you'll get better with time. It's your money and you don't want it floating away if it doesn't have to. Next, let's talk about the basics of contentment. Okay, being minimal and being frugal are great, but if you are not content with what you have, then you will never be content with what you get. Let's talk about what contentment is. So, this is a topic that I think is so important in our culture, because if we're not content with what we have, we're never going to be content with what we get. And learning how to love your life as it is, imperfect as it is, learning to be thankful for the things that you do have rather than looking to the next thing all the time, are some of the basics of being content. And I find that the more I cut out, the more I can focus on the things that I'm really thankful for. The less stuff that I'm always getting, the more it makes me realize the stuff that I do have. A big component of this is your faith. For me, taking the time to thank the Lord every single day for what I have, whether that's food for breakfast, whether that's the table that I sit at, or the couch that my kids are playing on. Being thankful for what I have makes it a whole lot harder to look to the next and the newest thing in order to find that contentment. Thankfulness goes right along hand with contentment. If you are thankful, you are also content. And one of the best daily disciplines that you can do is in your prayer life, thank Him. Thank Him every single day, even on a bad day. On a bad day, you can still find things to be thankful for. You're tired? Yeah, that happens. But can you be thankful for the coffee that's brewing in the morning? Can you be thankful for that 5 minutes of getting to go outside and see the sunrise, even if it's an early morning? Doing these things changes your attitude. And when you change your attitude, you change everything. Sometimes all we need is just a little perspective shift to get things where they need to be. So watch your perspective. When you want to buy all the newest and the best things, and maybe you can't, or maybe you're not sure if you should, take a few minutes. Be thankful for what you have. Really figure out if this is going to bring you joy or if this is just a momentary dopamine boost from getting to buy something new. The third thing in the basics of contentment that I want to touch on is focus on your family. Don't focus on everybody else's. In this day of social media, it is so easy to spend time looking at other people and thinking how great their life is without ever reflecting and thinking how great yours is. We all have problems. There are all things that make our life imperfect, but focusing on what makes you thankful for your family rather than what you wish you had in another family is the biggest thing you can do to stay content. And when you stay content with what you have, you don't feel that urge to go out and get more nearly as much as you used to. And it's like a muscle. The more you practice, the better you get. Practicing thankfulness and practicing being content are two of the best things you can do for your family. It sets your mood. As a mom, if our mood is messed up, the whole house is messed up. And if even in a bad day, we can have a good attitude, it will move mountains on how the rest of the family feels in the home, reacts in the home. And you might just find that that bad day that started turns out to be a great day. You never know. But attitude and perspective mean a lot. All right, y'all. Next, I want to touch on a few free and cheap things that our family does to bond together, to spend time together, that may be easy for you to do at home too. Number one, we listen to audiobooks. There is nothing like gathering the family around in the living room, turning on a fire, lighting a candle, getting a cup of coffee or tea, and everybody sitting and listening to a story together. This is relaxing more than you can even imagine. And in my opinion, it is way more rewarding than turning on a TV and watching a show most of the time. The Audible subscription is around $16 a month, but our family uses it so much and it has become so rewarding that it is something that it feels like it is honestly worth it to pay for. At the beginning of this, I did not know that I would even like audiobooks. But the more we do it as a family, the more I realize we really enjoy it. Next, we spend time outside. Once or twice a day, all the kids and all of us go outside. We play. We don't have a lot of toys in the yard, and that's for a reason. Our kids love to pick up sticks and twigs and leaves and use their imagination and play. They love to climb trees and go for a walk, look at things. I think that by far, this is way better than having way too many toys where they're only concentrated on something that's making noise or battery operated. We use free stuff outside and our imagination and create some of the coolest things and the best experiences and just enjoy getting to get that fresh air, get that vitamin D, run out their energy a little, and spend time as a family doing this. This also goes hand in hand with when we go work out in the garden. We make it a family activity anytime we can. It teaches our kids about agriculture and growing things and where our food comes from. And not only does it save us money by producing our own food, but it becomes a true learning experience for our kids. Now, something else you might not have thought about is board and card games. Our family loves games, whether that is sequence, face 10, Uno, Rummy, it doesn't matter. But our family several times a week loves to gather around the table and play a game together. I'm a big believer that family closeness a lot of times comes together when you're sitting at a table and you're talking, whether that happens at dinner or whether that happens during a game. It's a wonderful thing for the entire family to enjoy and be involved in. And even though we do it several times a week and rotate our games out, our kids still look forward to game night every single time because it's time we get to spend together laughing and making those memories. Now, something else that is a wonderful thing to not only help with your skills in the kitchen, but also teach your kids some basic life skills is making a special treat together. Whether that's brownies coming out fresh from the oven or cookies or you name it, following a recipe together, making something that's yummy, and then enjoying it as a family and making it a big deal is something that my kids absolutely love. And it is something that helps with their learning skills, their math skills for conversions and fractions, because a lot of times we double or triple the recipe because we have a large family. But whether you're doing that or not, it is a great way to teach some basic cooking skills, how to follow directions independently. And it is one of the best things that you can do together that also will yield big results in the future because you've taught them how to cook. So, one other thing that you may or may not enjoy is a music session. Okay. Our family loves music. We love to dance and we love to sing, even if it's badly, and we love to play around. And so, putting on a playlist with some of our favorite music and all dancing around the house and listening and being silly while we're doing other things, or just enjoying the music together and really concentrating on that activity is a great thing that we do for free at home. That is so much fun. There is nothing like watching your kids run around and jam out and dance as you're dancing with them, not caring about what you look like or anything else, and just enjoying that time together and making memories and having fun. Something else you may want to consider is an at home movie night. Okay? You can pull out all the stops with the blankets and the pillows and this and that, the popcorn, put on a free or rent a movie at home, sit and enjoy it together, or enjoy your special treat while you're at it, and sit and talk. And I've noticed that the less the screen comes on during the day and during the week, the more special it is when we actually gather to watch something rather than just endlessly binging episode after episode after episode, intentionally thinking about what we want to watch and what our family wants to watch together is a great way to not only bond and share memories, but it's also something for free you can do at home. And quite frankly, I enjoy it way more than going over to the movie theater. So let's move on to a little bit of a different topic now, and let's talk about some of the things that you don't need. The newest thing you don't need. This is one of the biggest mind shifts that has helped our family save money, is realizing that there is so much that we do not need. Here's something that I realized. We don't need the newest thing. Just because something is new and comes out does not mean that we have to have it. And so just because there's a new electronic or a vehicle or a new kitchen gadget doesn't mean that our family necessarily needs to spend money on that. If we actually have a need for something that we have put time and thought into, then okay, maybe we'll get something. But just because a new phone comes out or a new laptop or a new this or a new that doesn't mean that we have to have it. Their job as a marketer is to get you to buy it. And breaking that cycle and realizing, oh, that's cool, but what I have works just fine is a very freeing thing, but save a lot of money yourself. I can just enjoy what I already have. Something else that I don't spend money on is expensive coffee. We make coffee at home. And we even do special coffee where we get the creamers we want and a little whipped cream and a little caramel syrup. And we make our own cappuccinos or frappuccinos from basic ingredients at home and put it in a special glass and drink that. And so when we are feeling like we want to go to Starbucks or Durango Joe's or something like that, instead, we make a fancy coffee at home and everybody really enjoys it and we're thankful for it. This saves so much money over the long run, not only in the gas and the time to get there, but also in the coffee itself. Now, every once in a while, we'll get what we call a gas station coffee. Okay, 7 to 11 Speedways, whatever you have around you, probably makes a darn good cappuccino that you can get from a machine, believe it or not, that is delicious. So sometimes we'll take a short drive, go spend $3 or $4 for the whole family at the gas station to get a special coffee from town, but we really don't go to Starbucks or any of those other chain places to get our coffee. We make it at home. All right, so the next point that I want to touch on is expensive hair care products or just too many products in general. I know for me personally, I'm good with just a shampoo and a conditioner and then a deep conditioner every once in a while, a regular soap. But I don't spend money buying new ones or new scents just because I see them at the store. When we run out, we may get something new, but it's something that we're going to make last and use. If you have too many products, you will never use them all. And so simplifying down to a few that you really like and you really do use every day and that your family uses will save you so much money in the end than buying something just because it looks like it would be fun to try or it smells really good or it promises to do this special thing for your hair. 99% of the time, that doesn't work anyway. That is something that personally I choose not to spend very much money on. We get a basic shampoo and conditioner that works for everybody, me and my husband. We each have our own body wash and we use a lot of soap too, like actual bars of soap and turn those into liquid soap. And that's a really good hack, by the way. All right, so something else that I don't buy a lot of is makeup. I have a very simple makeup routine that uses foundation, a powder, blush, mascara, and a lip gloss. It fits into a little pouch about like this, and honestly, I could replace all of it for about $50. And so about once a year or so, I may replace those products if I haven't used them up, but that's about it for the makeup that I buy. There's so much that I bought over the years that honestly just went to waste because I couldn't use it fast enough. And I'm not one who uses a ton of makeup every day. If you do, then maybe that's something that you don't want to cut back on. But minimalizing and cutting down the amount of makeup and the amount of skin and hair care products you're buying is huge for saving money in the end. It can be a huge cost to pick up one or two or three things here and there that if you can just eliminate them, honestly, it doesn't make that big of a difference in your day-to-day life. One other thing that we do is we save money on clothing. We buy a lot of secondhand clothes, whatever we can find from a garage sale or a thrift store. And if we do buy something new, it's usually on sale and it's something that we actually do need. Like a pair of jeans ripped and you need to replace those, or holes got worn out in boots here on the farm and those need replaced. Those may be necessary expenses, but we don't go buy clothes just for the sake of buying clothes, unless it is something that we will actually wear often and that we actually need, or a kid needs a new size of something. We use what we have. Clothes don't have to be fancy. Honestly, you pay attention way more to your clothes than anybody else does. And I found that if you get a few quality pieces, they will last you years and years. Now, with kids, you may be replacing sizes here and there, but hand-me-downs aren't a bad thing. And whether that's hand-me-downs from kid to kid, or older cousins handing clothes down to your kids, or passing them on later on, it is a great way to be sustainable and not overconsume, as well as not spend a ton of money. The final thing that you don't need, and this one is going to kind of be maybe a little bit controversial, and that's takeout. Okay? Takeout food. This is something that you don't actually need to do, even delivery. Most of the time, you could cook a simple and good nutritious meal at home in the same amount of time it would take to drive and go get something. So I would recommend making it a point to cook more at home rather than spending all that extra money just going and buying something just for the sake of getting something in town. Now, maybe every once in a while you want to make a special day out of it. But for the most part, if you cook at home rather than buying out, you will save so much money. I hope some of these tips and tricks helped, and I hope you enjoyed me sharing with you what our family does to be frugal. And I hope that you'll comment down below with any of your questions or with what your family does that may be a little weird, but that saves you money in the end. Okay? If you got value from this, like and subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one. Thanks.